Thank you so much again for meeting with me.
Oh, thank you for coming by. This is great.
My readers of the District Insider will really appreciate hearing about your story.
Cool, thank you.
So let's get started.
All right.
Tell us about the moment when you decided that chair upholstery design, is that when you decided that was the road that you wanted to take, or that was the career for you?
It was March of this year, March 2013. It was on Easter Sunday, and I had been thinking about leaving my job for a little bit of time, but I was looking for something that I could go into next and have something like a solid footing in something. And I had been doing upholstery for a few months before March, and it just really hit me like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's hands-on, because I've been sitting behind the computer as a photo editor for about 5 years, and I really just wanted to get back to being, working with my hands. And that was the day, Easter Sunday. I said, this is what I want to do. Been working with some great clients, and I'm just going to go full throttle. So started sketching out my business plan and go from there.
Wow. So Third and Grace, what is the meaning behind that name?
I thought I wanted Olive Vintage initially, but I'm just doing some research on other names. I saw someone also had Olive Vintage Clothing, so it's kind of similar. So I said, let me rethink. And then one morning I woke up and it popped in my head. And DC is where Third and Grace was conceived, and all three places that I lived in DC were on a 3rd Street. It was 3rd and Allison, 3rd and K, and 3rd and Rhode Island.
Oh.
So it kind of fell into place, and I just went with that. Like, well, I was born in the 3rd month, March 31st, and I love the number 3. All these little things. And the Grace part, I loved how it kind of felt. It seemed elegant. It was light. It was soft, and it seemed hopeful as well. So I went with Third and Grace.
I love that name.
Thank you.
Can you remember your first design project?
My first design project was a pair of these metal, almost like Art Deco chairs that I bought from Goodwill, and they were $20 each. And they were both silver, and they had this silver and maroon cover. So I bought those, I sprayed them gold, and then I reupholstered them in this really pretty green fabric that had like white ferns on it, and posted that on Craigslist and sold it within, I think, 2 weeks or so.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first project.
Do you have a favorite project? One that you made for someone else that maybe you didn't? It was so good you didn't want to give away?
I have 2 of those, actually. One was this great bench that I did the whole thing in a couple of hours. I went out to my favorite place in Maryland called Ryan's Relics, and they have this beautiful white bench in there. And I brought that back, I sprayed it this cool orange, and then I reupholstered it in like a blue and white ECAT print, and posted that on my Instagram, and one of my girlfriends was like, I want that chair, I don't care how much, or that bench, how much it costs. And so it was hard to let that one go because it was really, really pretty. And the other chair was, I think it's actually in my bedroom right now.
I have to see that.
I know, I love that chair. And it's funny because I bought that from a gentleman out in Virginia, and I reupholstered it one time and just didn't like it. The colors weren't matching. I had painted the frame almond and reupholstered it in this fabric that I shouldn't have. So a couple of weeks later, I was like, I'm going to redo this chair because I have to be satisfied with it before I put it out there. And I stripped all the paint off, I sanded everything down to the natural wood, and then I reupholstered it in this really cool African wax fabric print that I just love. And I'm going to be sad to see that one go because I really love it. I know, I'm putting it up to sell, but I love it. So I mean, I still have remnants of the fabric itself, but I want someone else to have it and love it as well.
Oh, awesome. Now, how would you describe your style to a new client?
I describe my style as bright, bold. I love statement pieces and fashion, and so I like to incorporate that into upholstery. Anything that that has some energy to it. I love mixing prints. So if you like a little bit of eclectic, funk, that's sort of my style. I don't want to do anything that's sort of too simple. I like to add color and pop. So that's what I would say to them.
Nice. Now, what is the most frustrating aspect of your job?
The most frustrating, I think, has been. I think sometimes the conversation of pricing can be a little difficult, frustrating to have, because you want to obviously put out a great product and work with the best tools and fabric, and sometimes just trying to meet the client halfway, or sometimes getting clients to understand the value of the piece that you want to make for them, whether it's something that you already have in your inventory or a piece they're bringing to you to reupholster. The pricing discussion can be a little frustrating sometimes, but everybody, I like to bargain hunt as well, so I understand when people are looking for something to be made, they're conscious of their budget. So it's never personal, it's just, I really want to work on that piece and I want it to be great, but meeting in the middle of the budget sometimes can be a little sticky. But sometimes it works out.
What is the most rewarding part?
Oh, the most rewarding is going back to the client when they get their piece and it's finished, whether it's something they bought, you know, from the website or a piece they presented and they wanted to, we worked together to custom upholster it. And when they say, oh my gosh, I just love it, this is the coolest thing, that is the most rewarding because, you know, you can talk a whole bunch about what you can do for them, but if you can't deliver anything, then, you know, that's like the hardest thing right there. But when they're really, really thrilled about the finished product, that's the most rewarding. And, you know, having friends that they refer you to is awesome too.
Okay, awesome. Do you have a favorite material or tool that you work with? I know you spoke about the African
yes,
print.
that's my favorite material because there's just so many great colors and different styles, and just the way they mix prints is beautiful. My tool, hands down, is my scissors. I have a pair of silver Singer scissors over here. Can't do anything without them, whether it's pillows, poofs. I have to have those, yes. And my staple gun. It's pretty good.
Alright, so which of today's design trends are here to stay and which do you see are going to go away?
In terms of the trend, you know, I think what's always going to stay around is just really good craftsmanship. I think trends, it's sort of hard to pin down. For a while it was chevron, and then ECAT came in, a little more of a fluid print. And those, you know, people still work with those and strive, so I think it's just, honestly, it's really, really good craftsmanship that people, that stays, whether it's a pillow you're making, whether it's furniture you're crafting, or clothes, whatever it is. Something that's well made, that lasts forever.
That's true.
And your other question, I'm sorry, I just forgot what it was.
Which will, you kind of answered it.
Oh, okay.
Which will stay, which will fade away, so.
Oh, fading away, that's a good question. I'm not quite sure.
Well, I guess since you said about craftsmanship, if the craftsmanship is good,
right,
it really won't fade.
Exactly. So. That's my answer.
Okay, who or what has influenced your work or your passion for doing this?
So many people and everyday things. I think for design, the designer Duro Olowu, his collection, the way he mixes.
Say it again?
Duro Olowu.
Okay.
He's Nigerian, based in London. Well, he works in New York as well, but he is fantastic. He did a collection recently with JCPenney, and just the way he mixes prints and the quality of fabric he chooses, it's like, it's second to none. So it's really great. But style-wise, Solange really influences me. Like,
love her.
Hello.
Love her.
That woman can rock a print like no one's business. But then also, there's an Argentinian director. His name is Juan Cabral, and it's nothing to do with like upholstery at all. But the way that he directs videos and can take the smallest concept and blow it up into this really grand execution. I really love his imagination, and that, you know, inspires me to just always think big, because he did these great commercials for Sony Bravia a few years ago, and it was a simple concept like color, and the way that he executed that is just, I watch those videos all the time just to be re-inspired. It's really, really cool. And then everyday women, you know, confident women who walk with grace, and other female entrepreneurs who are, you know, sharing their stories of their trials, their hardships, their triumphs. Those things really inspire me to just keep going, because I work by myself, and so I need encouragement daily.
Yes,
So,
I understand. So what advice do you have for young designers to be?
Definitely insurance. Like, cover yourself with regard to insurance. It's for the more practical thing. If you have tangible products, get renter's insurance, get property insurance. If you have a car that, you know, you're taking to and from doing your jobs, get car insurance and make sure that you cover your assets, because even if you think you can't afford it right now, life moves very quickly and changes happen, and you want to make sure that your business has longevity and that you're just, you know, the foundation is strong. So that's the first thing I would say, is to cover your assets. But also to stay encouraged daily. Whatever it is that, the reason that you started this project, keep those reminders throughout, you know, in your office, in your house, in your car. Those things that just encourage you all the time and give you strength, because I know I need that, you know, working sort of by myself and taking a different career direction already, going from doing photography and photo editing now to upholstery. It's like, I'm sticking to this, and, you know, I need to be encouraged daily. So that's what I would say, is just stay positive, you know, keep positivity all around you.
Okay, so what is next? What can we expect from Third and Grace?
Oh, a lot of new things. I'm working right now with a wonderful local designer. She's a great textile designer. Her name is Victoria Larson, and I want to put together a collection of chairs using her fabrics. But then also I'm launching a pillow collection this fall. I'm really excited about. And then next year it's going to be a collection of poofs And
And what are poops?
poops are these, you know, like in
Like a pillow that you sit
big
on?
pillow. Yeah, they have a lot of those in
Oh.
like Moroccan, you know, culture.
Oh,
It's
that's a
really
cool. Oh, those are cute.
yes. I'm really excited about that. So I'm looking into fabrics right now. I know what colors I want. I just have to find the fabrics. But those are a couple of things, and some new collaborations in the future. So lots of good stuff. New chairs going out. So that's it for Third and Grace and more. We'll see.
So can you take us on a
This chair here, I have two of these. One more is in the workroom in the back, and I just have to finish putting the belt cording on. This is going to be touched up, and then we're going to throw it online to sell. And this is my office space. This is where I come first thing in the mornings. I sit here, I do photo editing, I check emails to see you know, how things are going with clients, and send them fresh Pinterest boards of inspiration and fabrics and everything. And then over here, all down below, you'll see reference magazines, just keeping inspired all the time. I have a lot of photo books, design books. This huge stack here was along the wall, but I had to put them in bins to keep everything together. And then I have a bowl of just a few of the fabrics here, different swatches. These were, the purple were from a client that we met with yesterday, actually. So a little fabric bowl there. And this is just a picture. And I keep a bunch of some paint out here. That chair that I was mentioning to you, the African wax print, that's actually here in the bedroom. I'll bring it out so you can see it. This is the print that chair that I'm going to be sad to let go of. I love it so much. It was painted almond before. Just sanded everything down here and reupholstered her.
That's beautiful.
Thank you very much. And then I'd love to show you my that are available to sell, but also projects that I'm working on. This corner mostly is projects we're working on. When I left my job at AARP, my coworkers, they found this chair on the street and they brought it in and everyone signed it for me. So now I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. I think I'm going to take the fabric off and frame it. And then these two chairs I just picked up from a client yesterday. We're going to reupholster them in a really cool purple. Change the cushions and add a cushion here. And I'm working on these chairs in the back, as you can see. And then I have most of the everyday supplies that I use right in this corner. My staple gun, love my staple gun. A mallet, my hammer. I just bought a brand new pair of work gloves because my other ones I worked with.
It's really cool how you have it, all the fabrics laid out.
My parents, they are amazing. They were just here last week, and my dad came and set this up for me. This is actually a clothes dryer, like a collapsible drying rack. And we just set it up so I can display my fabric. And then I have a shelf of all my spray paints and everything, and a few my tack strips and tape over there. And in this roll, it was on the floor initially, but this is the cotton batting. And we just went to a hardware store and pieced everything together. And then down here is where I'm storing a small collection of the pillows. There's going to be some more stuff that I have back there. And that's this. That's the workroom.
This is awesome. I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for taking us.
The website is www.thirdandgrace.com. You can go on there if you want to get quotes for upcoming upholstery jobs. You can also check out Facebook. I'm on Twitter. It's @thirdandgrace, and then we're on Instagram again, Third and Grace. You can shoot me an email at Nicole@thirdandgrace.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.